Well, I entered the Army in 1980, and I was an infantryman. And we went to Panama to go through jungle school. And I just remember seeing these Green Berets and their jungle fatigues, and they had the Green Berets hanging out of their cargo pocket. I went up to them and said, hey man, I'm thinking about applying. And they said, you need to come here. It's the only place in Special Forces you want to be. We're all over South America. We're fighting guerrillas and communism. And I was like, And finally my orders came down, and I went to the Q course in 1984. The guys there were just literally animals, and I longed to be around people like that. These guys had scuba badges, master's wings. I mean, they were just incredible, and they really motivated me to push myself. I got down to 3rd Battalion, 7th Special Forces Group at Fort Davis, Panama for about 2 years. 1990, I shipped out to El Salvador as a combat training advisor. Then got orders back to Panama, and then I was recruited for a special assignment in Washington, D.C. And then as soon as I reported to 10th Group, the air war in Kosovo was going full bore, deployed in, and we set up the entire soft infrastructure for Kosovo that still exists to this day. And I retired in April of 2001. I thought that I had planned my transition very, very well. I had a master's degree in security management, and I just knew I was going to get, man, I spoke languages, I'm going to get me a job. And so I went ahead with my transition plan. A year later, I was unemployed. I could not get a job. I had my resume all over the internet. I was just incredibly humbled and humiliated by my inability to find work. And you know, with a master's degree, I thought that I had it made. I thought I did everything right. And I'm like, why can't I find a job? I was getting ready to become a security guard. And it just so happened there was an element in Albuquerque. And then my resume came across the desk, got hired. They offered me $60,000 and I took it. After 9/11, that element was selected to deploy to support the invasion. In 2002, I got a call from a good friend in DC that said, hey, look, man, can you start a company? I said, yeah, I can do anything, what's up? So I wrote up a proposal. I went up against 2 other companies and I won. And what I didn't know is the contract I won was in preparation for the invasion of Iraq. I hired 3 guys and myself and my mother. We called it NEK Advanced Securities Group. We went from 0 to 1,000 miles an hour trying to figure that out. And we were a Special Forces owned company. And that generated a lot of interest. And because our motto was always, you know, God, country, and 10%. We're here to take care of you. We'll make money later on. Right now, you know, we're at combat. What do you need? Let's get the job done. And so our reputation as a fearless provider of high-end training services became prevalent throughout the special operations community. And we trained on every continent. We built a company that was generating well in excess of $100 million a year in revenue from 4 guys. 2011 was when the market really started to, you know, to even out. Civilians and soldiers made a decision that, you know, somebody else can take what we started and continue on with this. Let's go, you know, do other things. So my partner and I decided to divest the company. What I'm focusing on right now is cybersecurity and technical training. Main Nerve provides compliance auditing for healthcare and finance, as well as managed cybersecurity services for companies. So we went from protecting American soldiers to protecting American businesses.
Bruce is probably the most rewarding and inspiring CEO that I've ever had the pleasure to work with. He always wants to know what's going on. He's this bouncing ping pong ball that never stops. He'll never shy away from anything, whether it's grabbing a mic and hamming it up or getting down and dirty to get the mission accomplished. And I think that's the mindset of all the Green Berets that I've ever met. You know, he's a retired sergeant major, so the ass chewings come with the territory and no one is immune.
Well, no, it's not. This needs to be...
You work hard, but he also play hard, and he takes care of you whenever you work hard and do what you need to do.
He never says no to a challenge.
Another challenge that you always face in business is the impact on your family. You have to have a supportive family in order to take on these endeavors, or it just will not work. I've been very blessed, you know, with a wonderful wife. My girls and my son, they've turned out to be wonderful model citizens, and I love them all. Make sure you spend time with your family. It's key. When I go home at night, Until my son goes to bed and my wife and I watch a little bit of TV, it's their time. My weekends belong to my son and my wife. I won't take the work home on the weekend. You don't need a Harvard business degree. You need drive, you need endurance, you need perseverance. Those are the skills that Special Forces guys have that will allow their businesses to succeed, because they don't know how to quit. There were times we couldn't make payroll. We're like, oh my God, we've had some really low points in the company, but we never gave up. Never, ever gave up. And I think that is our greatest success.